What's going on, guys? It's Garrison. Welcome back to the channel where I give you the brutally honest, unbiased reviews on shoe and tech in 10 minutes or less. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. We are going on part 2 from yesterday's video on the pre-release of the Adios Adizero Pro 4 from Adidas, the new successor to the Adios Pro 3 shoe lineup. And we are going to be talking about all the details based on the release day today, 9/25/24, September 25th, 2024, as all the YouTubers, all the social media people, even Adidas themselves came out with an official release statement around all the hype and long-awaited delay that the Adios Pro 4 has become. So, let's dive into it. I have now gathered some more information from channels like Believe in the Run, Alex Felitti, Pro Direct, Running Warehouse, and all the other reputable sources of information across the interwebs. So we're gonna be diving into that today, take a look at some of the details following from yesterday's video, and we're gonna dive into some of the pros, the cons from what we can see so far, and take a look at what the upcoming Adios Pro 4 will bring to the runners and reviewers alike. So stay tuned, we'll dive into it right now. What's new about the Adios Pro 4? Well, let's dive into the specs just now, reading off the list. Starting with the drop. The drop is 39 millimeters in the heel, 33 millimeters in the forefoot, giving a 6 millimeter overall drop, which is pretty similar to the original AP3 that you see in front of you here. According to all the information and the posts that I've been reading, as well as the videos, the upper material seems to have changed, which is a very, very much warm welcome adjustment to the original Adios Pro 3 upper here, which for the most part, it was a love-hate relationship for a lot of different runners. A lot of different people had issues with this particular upper, just given the particular lace lockdown, the hot spots that the laces created, as well as just the overall, I guess, minimalistic materials that they used, which caused a lot of Achilles blistering, a lot of arch support blistering, a lot of hot spots around the shoe itself. And so I am extremely happy to hear and to see the reports that the upper has been completely redesigned. It's much more comfortable. Apparently it is a one-piece system that Adidas is running with now, which is, I guess, similar yet different to the AP3 version that they came out with, which is kind of a mix between some different plastics from what it seems like. A lot of ventilation, which is great. And it seems like they streamlined the overall structure of the shoe to be more comfortable and more form-fitting to the individual's foot, which is amazing to hear. So, other than that, Adidas has introduced a new system called Light Lock, which is apparent on the new AP4 upper. It says right on the inner foot there, Light Lock system. And basically, from what I can gather, it's a new lacing system that will provide a more secure, more comfortable lockdown. Like I mentioned, the original AP3 upper system was super finicky. The tongue itself was flopping all over the place. You really had to tighten down the laces a specific way and lace the shoes a specific way to where it would feel comfortable, as well as stay locked down to your foot the entire run. So happy to see the Light Lock system in there. Hopefully it's more beneficial and valuable than it is hype, and just Adidas releasing a new, feature set on their shoes themselves. But you know, we'll take that for what it is. It is a warm welcome, and hopefully it's a welcome that will pay off for the comfortability, the durability, and the duration of the runner's foot this time around. So we'll see. What else? The weight in my men's size 10 is 225 grams, which is a little bit lighter than the original AP3s that you see in front of you here, which is great. From everything that I've heard and read, the laces do seem to be the same, although they may look a little bit more padded in some of the photos and renderings that I've seen so far. But we'll see. Unfortunately, I don't have them hands-on first, but everything that I've seen so far, and not too many people have been talking about it, the laces do look similar but different, if that makes sense. So we'll see until I officially get them on hand. We'll just have to circle back to that one. Regarding the tongue and the tread. The tongue apparently has been completely redesigned. From what I can tell on the actual pictures and videos from people that have had these in hand, it does look like it's a gusseted tongue. It's part of the shoe, so it's not this floppy, standalone, flimsy tongue that came with the AP3s originally. The tread is going to be a bit different. Obviously, AP3s have the world-renowned Continental rubber that everybody has come to love for its durability, its grip, wet traction ability. And, you know, there is a little bit of a difference with the new AP4s, which I will show a mock-up picture of. But basically, they've taken out the Continental rubber and just added a one-piece sliver of Continental rubber to kind of the ball of the foot, the big toe, the push toe off area. Although a new introduction from Adidas is going to be their light traction grip system, which is apparent given the clear icy sole that they've come out with. On the outsole itself, it does say light traction. Hopefully that is a great new grip and texture that they provided for the AP4, upgraded from the AP3, which I don't know if you can get any better than the Continental rubber, let's be honest. Of all the rubbers out there between Puma, Nike, Adidas, Saucony, Brooks, Hoka, etc., all the big names out there, even the smaller names out there, Continental rubber has its reputation for being one of the best, if not the best, grips on running shoes to date. So we'll see how the light traction stands up. From the pictures, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty grippy, just given the icy translucentness of it. From what I can tell, generally those are a little more grippy from my experience working with Nikes, working with Jordans, and some different variations of Adidas where they've had some of the translucent soles built into their shoes. But other than that, we'll see if it's all hype or if it actually grips as good, if not better, than the Continental rubber we see here on the AP3s. Other than that, I think the two biggest things that I have come to learn about the new AP4s that different from the AP3s are going to be the midsole / the foam, the Lightstrike Pro. As we all know, Lightstrike Pro has continuously been updated through the various Adizero lineup models that Adidas has put out throughout the years, stemming from the Lightstrike from the Adidas SL Daily Trainer, moving into a different variation of the Lightstrike in the Adidas SL2 that came out earlier this year. Huge differences in terms of fit, feel, function, energy return, and cushioning. I will say from everything I've heard and read and seen in videos about the AP4s, the midsole and the Lightstrike Pro Foam is a bit softer than the AP3s, which I think will be a great addition. I just do have some technical concerns of how well that energy return is going to give me the more I dig in or the more I toe off, as well as from what I've heard as well, the heel is pretty soft and marshmallowy. So I really love the foam feel of the Lightstrike Pro in the AP3s. I think they're stable. I think they give great energy return as well as great impact resistance. I think there's just enough give and bounce in this foam to be durable and give me the feel that I want without it being too mushy, too marshmallowy, as well as too firm in other cases, comparative to other shoes. So we'll see. I don't know. Is the new Lightstrike Pro going to be similar to the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2, where they're super marshmallowy, super soft? They're doing a new blend of PIBA and whatever foams they're using, or is it going to be good? We'll see. I'm excited either way. I do like softer foams. I think they're good. I just don't want to be bottoming out or having longevity, durability issues with the foam overall, like some of the Nikes out there. Anyways, rocker geometry has definitely changed in the AP4 compared to the AP3. There's definitely a earlier stage rocker that begins more in the mid to forefoot rather than the toe section or the toe off section of the AP3. So I am very excited to be able to try those, put those on, get a feel for it. I am predominantly a mid to forefoot striker. Once my form kind of dies off, I get tired throughout the end of my runs. I do tend to start heel striking just a little bit, but it's more of a mid to heel strike landing zone, if that makes sense. So I'm excited to see and feel the new geometry of the earlier stage rocker within the AP4s, just because I feel like that'll give me a little bit more edge and a little bit more propulsion to how my strike normally, or how my feet normally strike, if that makes sense. Other than that, we have just a couple glimpses of some colorways that have come out so far. The official release of the white colorway with a little bit of pink and lime green, which I think looks amazing. We've seen a cherry red colorway as well, which I believe came out in similar shoes like the Boston 12, if I remember correctly, and maybe AP3s. Can't remember, don't quote me on that. Otherwise, we've seen the Volt yellow or extremely bright neon fluorescent neon green yellow colorway that's been floating around the internet as well. So I think those are the three top colorways that we know of so far. I hope Adidas puts out more, similar to what they've been dumping into the Adios Pro 3s with just releasing a million different colorways, just trying to get them out into production, into people's hands before the AP4s come out next year. I do hope that Adidas works on their colorways a little bit better. I feel like some of the colorway combinations were a little bit off or not as attractive as they could be, especially given such an amazing shoe, such a reputable shoe. We gotta have the good colorways, man. I don't wanna be running in something bland or something that's, you know, super goofy looking, but the Mint Lucid colorway on the AP3s, I will say, is probably one of my favorite colorways, so I am very happy that I was able to find these for only $60 on OfferUp. Shout out my guy, Rodrigo, I think his name was. Anyways, he was an Alpha Fly guy, Vaporfly guy. I'm a Lightstrike Pro Adidas guy, so picked these up for 60 bucks on OfferUp. Best decision of my life, except for the upper, which has caused so many blisters, I don't even want to go into it. So last but not least, pricing, availability. January 2025 is when they're slated to release worldwide. As of right now, they are quoted to be $250 US, typical to what we typically see in the Adizero lineup, especially for the higher end race shoe, marathon shoes. Oh, one thing I did forget, they did stick with the energy rods, which is great. I definitely enjoy the energy rods more than some of the other full-plated carbon shoes that are out there, like the Vaporflies, the Alpha Flies, some of the Sauconys out there. I feel like the Adidas energy rods give a different propulsional feel rather than such a harsh, you know, this is a carbon plate, there's a carbon fiber plate inside your shoe type of feel. So Glad they stuck with that, although I wish they did somehow update it to give us more energy return, if that makes sense. I do feel like the plate or energy rods are there, but I sometimes don't feel it as much. Maybe I'm not pushing off as hard as I should be to be able to reap the benefit of the energy rods or the plate per se. So maybe that's just something that I need to work on more consciously while I'm running. But other than that, I think the AP4s are a much needed, highly anticipated upgrade we've all been waiting for. Can't wait to get my hands on them once they release in January 2025, unless I can somehow finagle them before then. If anybody knows an Adidas rep or a PR manager or anybody, please send them my way. Would love to connect, make some content, make some shoes, get some more reviews out there for you all so that you guys can make the best decision when spending your hard-earned money on running shoes. Like I said, I got these for $60. Would I pay $250 for them? Probably not. Would I pay $250 for the AP4s? Yes, because there's something new and I want to try them, and I see all the time and effort and the development that Adidas has put into making this shoe a better shoe for the end user. So, all in all to say, I'm waiting to give the AP4s a shot. Is this something that you're considering? Are there other shoes that might be prioritized over this shoe, like the Endorphin Elite 2 that is coming out, like some of the new Adidas prototype, or excuse me, the new Nike prototypes that we've seen floating around, Vaporflies, some new trainers, etc. And also just today, Adidas released a new Evo SL Daily Super Trainer. So it looks very, very interesting, similar to the SL2 that recently came out, but a more souped up version of that for daily training or daily competition training. So I'm wondering if they're gonna have the carbon rods in there as well, much like the New Balance SC Pacers and some of the Saucony Endorphin Pros, Endorphin Speeds, where they have the nylon plates or the carbon plates for some of those faster up-tempo training blocks. So other than that, are you gonna give the AP4s a shot? Are you gonna wait for the AP3s to go on sale, much like they have been recently in the past months, where we've seen them for at least half price or lower than half price from Adidas and other websites? Let me know below. I guess we'll have to see come January 25, unless I happen to get the AP4s in my hands beforehand. If that is the case, I'll definitely put out an in-depth review after I get some miles under them, and look forward to doing a full in-depth review of the AP4s soon. Take care. Stay tuned for the next episode. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Leave a comment down below what you're looking forward to for the 2024-2025 run season as we get close to rounding out this calendar year. And let me know what colorways you're excited to see. What other shoes that you want to see reviewed on this channel. I'm going to try to get my hands on as many pairs of shoes as possible. That way you all can make the most informed decisions when spending your hard-earned money on your next pair of daily trainers, up-tempo shoes, track shoes, marathon race day, 5K, 10K, everything in between. Stay tuned. Gary's out. Adios.